Real wrath of God type stuff.
Exactly.
Fire and brimstone coming down from the skies. Rivers and seas boiling.
40 years of darkness, earthquakes, volcanoes. The dead rising from the grave.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
This is Sparta! Fatality.
I'm such a dork. I usually sit here and go through that whole dialogue, this is Sparta, and the whole chant thing. This is UFO Buster Radio, episode number 366. I am Andy Moonraker, and this is where we talk about UFO stuff, alien stuff, SpaceX stuff, and just in general, sometimes where we go to a point where there's nothing, I talk about shit that I normally don't, because it's Thursday and it's the freak out. So I just pick up whatever comes across. I want to say a bit of a shout out to the Norm out there in Las Vegas. The Norm hit me up on Twitter. First question out of my mouth through the Tweeterverse was whether or not he came across any metamaterial. Because we all know Deuce Bigelow, the Space Gigolo, has a stash of metamaterial out there in Vegas in some warehouse somewhere. Well, at least that's what the rumor was, 2.75 years ago, when we first saw the madness that was the Tic Tac videos. And now we're reliving this thing all over again. Again. Why? Why are we? I don't know. I've got a couple ideas. As a matter of fact, just to let you guys know, I actually watched Greer's new film, that CE5, Close Encounter of the Fifth Kind, and I gotta say, I kind of called it. I really did. It was much better than the Bob Lazar documentary, that's for sure. Yep, I said it. That's the way it goes. Got a few folks that are in the live chat. Green Man, Dre, Pucky. They've started out the live chat for UFO Buster Radio. And if you haven't done it yet, you want to do two things. Get in the Discord chat. It is the link that is at the top of the description for this episode. And for fuck's sake, for every episode in the last month and a half. And then, once you're done with that, you want to show up on the live episodes. Every episode is live, unless I tell you beforehand that the system is going awry and we can't get in. So you want to get on Spreaker.com, download the app, or go to the website and check it out. Get in this chat box that goes live with these guys as they comment back and forth regarding what we're talking about. And sometimes they go off the deep end, and a lot of things I can't even repeat, to be honest, because I know there's a few virgin ears out there who really can't get past the fucks and the shits. So imagine if I told them everything I read that's in the damn chat. You would not believe it. You would not. We got 3 articles for today. Actually, one's an audio clip that I promised you guys the last episode I would get and play it on here. And really, for me, it's all full circle now. This audio clip and the fact that I watched that damn documentary, full circle for me, and I'm going to share that with you. I'm not going to tell you too much about the documentary, mostly about the clip, because apparently this individual, the reptilian man, you guys know him as Greer, he does kind of allude to something that he flat out said in the documentary. We'll talk about that when we get to it. I got a nice little thingamajigger for you guys to listen to. Then we got the ozone. And lastly, we're going to talk about those damn astronauts. God bless their aspirations. It's going to be fucking ugly. But anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. I got a nice little song. Actually, all the tracks today are brand new, except for the last one for the record. But here we go.
I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. And if I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget it. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings. I just wish you understood the gravity, but you got low sinners. I guess it's better just to live it and forget it than to live it and remember. I've been wasting my time. I don't know why I can't get you out my mind. Yeah, now I'm so lost, where do I go? I was in a chase, caught a flat on road. It was all love, X no O. I was feeling rich, but we turned out broke. North Pole, life so cold. Lukewarm love, should've took it to the stove. You were bad news, all kind, no pro. We grew apart fast. I guess we was reaping what we sowed in. I guess we was unequally yoked in. Guess if we was putting on the shoulder, guess we should've tried to take it slow then. Guess I let my feelings take control. Guess I let my demon take the wheel. Used to think that we be growing old. Now I can't believe that it was real. It was back in late December when I did it. I just wish I could forget it. Cause I hate how much I love it, or I hate how I just love to catch a feeling. And you told me that you understood the gravity, but now I know you didn't. I guess it's better just to live it and forget it than to live it and remember. If I find a way to get it, when I do it, I can live it and forget it. Cause I hate how much I love you, or I hate how you just put me in my feelings. I just wish you understood the gravity, but you got lower sinners. I guess it's better just to live it and forget it.
I was trying to figure out which one are we going to start with first, but let's do the one that's probably the least UFO Buster Radio related news report, I guess. This one comes out of your planet, basically. The largest Arctic ozone hole ever recorded is now closed. Ladies and gentlemen, the ozone is closed. Pack your shit up and get out. So we've had this problem with the ozone for such a long time, and good old-fashioned folks at NASA and their fantastic technology have been showing us how we've been as humans fucking up the ozone. Yeah, you did it. Put the damn hairspray down. Go to work with your hair all frizzy the fuck up because you're screwing up the planet, okay? Just let it go. The funny thing is that about a month ago, all these reports, right, like especially from India, wow, the people in India, they can now see more than a block away because the fog's gone. All the smog, and not the fog, the smog is gone. Air pollution is gone. They're doing fantastic. They can actually see 2.5 blocks at the food cart that's down there. And now they know where their relative went. This is what's going on around the planet. Everybody's has the praise. Sure, we had a virus and it killed a few thousand people. But no, look. The smog is gone. No more air pollution. We're doing fantastic. It's beautiful. And now there's a report that the ozone has closed. If you look at the image for this episode, it is a picture that NASA released showing that the ozone has, it's kind of like puckered up like a chicken butt. It's just real tight. And there you go. We did it. Well, for you people who want to claim that, this was because of the coronavirus and the lockdown across the country, that they finally were able to bring a solution to our problem of the way we're destroying the planet, well, you're fucked. Yeah, no, forget about it. It turns out there are scientists that have been monitoring the whole situation, basically are saying, no, it was not COVID-19. It wasn't because you're locked up in your house. You haven't seen a hairdresser or gotten a fucking haircut, unless you're in jail and you're probably bald. And you've got those two caterpillars growing like crazy on your freaking forehead. Yeah, no. No. None of that has to do with the ozone. Scientists, which have been monitoring the ozone because they're afraid the planet is doomed, have this to say, that the COVID-19 and the associated lockdowns probably had zero, zilch, nada, forget about it. Nothing to do with the clothing. Not clothing. People don't wear clothing these days because they're on lockdown. Has nothing to do with it. The Copernicus Atmospheric Monitoring Service, or CAMS, tweeted on Sunday, it's been driven by an unusually strong and long-lived polar vortex and isn't related to air quality changes. So we can continue to fart it up, get the aerosols, do whatever you want to do. It's okay. Now, you're probably still as hairy as fuck and you smell like gorilla ass because you've been sitting around depressed as fuck because you can't do anything. You're stuck in your home. All your favorite places are shut down or it's only curbside. You don't get dressed up anymore. You really don't. Some of you probably haven't taken showers for days because no one's going to see you. And the people you're living with, they haven't showered either. So it all smells normal to you guys. So the ozone is not going to be impacted by that. So please get the aerosols out and start spraying away and get to it. Now, So a lot of places, the smog has lightened up. Those reports came out of India. I didn't make that shit up. That was for real. It actually did happen. But it had nothing to do with the ozone or anything else. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ozone has puckered up. It's gone. Look at the image. I've given you evidence, thanks to CAMS and the scientists that love you. It's a done deal. Now we can go on and spread as much ozone as we can, aerosols, all that kind of stuff. Just bring it all out. I know you haven't used them in a while. That's if you can even find them in the store. According to this, which is the data that NASA was putting out, is that it started back in March where they saw all of a sudden the polar vortex putting the shutdown on that ozone layer. And they're saying it is the most severe depletion of ozone they've seen since 97 and 2011. And they have zero fucking ideas why it's happening. But they know it did. It's like everything else. You can't ask these guys anything. All they can tell you is it happened. They can't tell you the what, the where, and the hows. It's just like, it just happened. We're good. Let's just move it on. So that was my one thing that I had to tell you guys because I found it fascinating, to be honest. The fact that, we get beat up so much about you hairless monkeys out there not taking care of your planet, polluting it, depleting the ozone, all the smog. We got the little Native American guy at the top of the hill crying because people are just polluting the entire country. Remember that commercial from back in the days? But it turns out that sometimes there is a natural order to things. Sometimes the planet does what it does. Plain and simple. Stop freaking trying to screw people over and getting into their heads and making them feel bad just because they want to put some hairspray. Come on, so many people need it. Have you seen their hair without it? Jeez, it's freaking crazy. The link in the description. Check it out. You can also visit cams and get some more images if you're into that kind of stuff. It makes a great wallpaper. Look at all that fucking color in that thing. But more to come, I'm sure. We'll see what they say. What happens once the lockdown finishes, whether or not miraculously, all of a sudden, the freaking ozone hole opens up again. Then what they're going to say.
When the day turns into night, it's you. Under my eyelid, one big fight, it's you. Well, everything can go to pieces. I don't care, as long as you're there. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. Racing pulse, we get along. Game on, stay strong. All I wanna do is sail into you. Help me paint the picture. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. I'm a clenched fist in the rain for you. A mental patient, half insane. It's you. Now everything can go to pieces. I don't care. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. Racing pulse, we get along. Game on, stay strong. All I wanna do is sail into you. Help me paint the picture. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. Save some light, build some strength. We're gonna go past forever. Tell me that you're ready, tell me that you're ready. We're gonna go past forever. Keep us going steady. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. Racing pulse, we get along. Game on, stay strong. All I wanna do is sail into you. Help me paint the picture. Like the sun kisses the clouds, keep us going steady. It's game on. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on. Racing pulse, we get along. Game on, stay strong. All I wanna do is sail into you. Help me paint the picture. Like the sun kisses the clouds, it's game on.
So last night I was on the Discord chat with the fellas, right? And I for some reason we started talking about the whole what's that? The fifth whatever CE whatever. The Greer thing, and it's for the close encounter of the fifth kind. And so all of a sudden, like this little devil kid was on my shoulders, like click it, click it, click it, click it. And so I figured, well, you know, fuck, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'll click it. Maybe it'll take me to, I was on Prime, by the way. I said, maybe it'll take me to like a trailer first. And, you know, they try to get me to really watch the damn thing. Maybe Greer show up in his Lee Stack outfit and he'll be like, you know, and then I've got to do it, right? Because, you know, the lizard man is getting into my head. But no, as soon as I clicked it, The damn movie just came on, and a little message came out in the bottom from Amazon Prime. You've been charged. Guilty as charged. Yeah, so I was like, oh, snap, guess I got to watch this now. See you later, fellas. Yeah, so I watched it. It was 2 hours long. Didn't go to bed till like almost like 2 o'clock in the morning, actually, watching this Greer thing. But there's a lot of this that is shared with unacknowledged. Of course, that's what he does. His builds one on top of another and steals from his own shit. But I got to say this. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. There was a lot of things in there he talked about. And like I always say about Greer, I'm 50-50 with Greer. Half the time, he sounds like an emergency room doctor. Like what you would expect would be there if you got gutted and you were taken to a local hospital and someone needed to fix you up. I sometimes hear that in Greer. Like he's there like a doctor and he's methodical in what he's doing and how he observes things. But then there's the other Greer that's happy-go-lucky, flower power. I'm going to sit around and inject a bunch of this flower juice in my anus and see if things clear up for me. There was a combination of both guys in this documentary, to be honest. So I don't know. But as I mentioned in the last podcast, there was a little, announcement that Greer was going to be on the Ingram Show on Fox to talk about this particular situation with the Pentagon re-releasing these videos, right? I'm going to play that for you guys because I downloaded it just for you. So, in case you didn't watch it. So, here it goes.
Roger, they started shooting. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
What were those objects in that newly declassified U.S. Navy footage that you just saw? Joining me now is Dr. Stephen Greer, founder of the UFO Disclosure Project. Dr. Greer, the Pentagon just declassified these videos, though they've been previously leaked. What's the explanation? What were those objects?
Well, there are actually two. It's good seeing you again, Laura. I was on your show when you had a radio show years ago.
Yes, I remember.
There are two types of objects. One are classified aerospace devices. This is a letter from Ben Rich, Lockheed Skunk Works, that he wrote in 1986. And he describes there are two types. One are extraterrestrial vehicles. The other are advanced anti-grav, so-called U.S. classified projects. Now, the leak of this film actually happened back in 2017. And it's interesting because there's a documentary we've just released that's #1 on iTunes called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind that goes into the background on this leak, which actually was not a leak. It was released by people who were part of what you often refer to, sort of an authoritarian transnational group that is trying to create a specter of some kind of threat from space, which actually does not exist.
Okay, but what is that? Because when you look at the speed of these objects, and Derek Thompson from The Atlantic said that the size and speed of the UFO show that it's like 40 feet long when they analyzed it. It went from 28,000 feet to sea level, so it's really fast. It means it was capable of achieving a velocity of at least 23,864 miles per hour, 31 times the speed of sound, 20 times faster than an F-18. Is that possible? Are you disputing that?
No, that's completely correct. You know, my uncle designed the lunar module, put the first man on the moon, as you know, and so these sort of technologies have been classified for a very long time. There are a lot of people who pretend like there's not much known on this, and the tragedy is that these sort of technologies have been explored and discovered and would benefit the humanity greatly if they were disclosed, but there are a lot of people who want to control the status quo who don't want that out. But yes, we have radar tracings, for example, in the Disclosure Project that trace these objects moving in excess of 200,000 kilometers an hour, much faster than this one. And so there's no question that these are legitimate, actual objects. The technology and physics behind them are actually quite well understood, but they have been sort of, this whole thing has been hijacked. Gordon Cooper, who was one of the early astronauts, and I presented to the Federalist Society a number of years ago this problem that there is an anti-constitutional project that has kept this secret in defiance of many of the people in our government. When I briefed the CIA director and the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, they tried to find out about this and were being denied access. So this is both a scientific and a policy constitutional crisis.
Well, Dr. Greer, there's a lot to unpack there. It's wild. I think my kids and I watched it about, 50 times. Thank you for joining us.
You probably want to see Close Encounter. If you look at Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, this documentary, you're going to see amazing evidence.
All right. Well, we'll check it out. Thank you, Dr. Greer.
That was funny as hell, because you could tell Ingram just wanted to get the hell off. Just get him off, because he's looking at me funny. She just wanted him off of there. But how many times did he plug his damn documentary? I knew he was going to do that. I knew that was the only reason he agreed to be on there to talk about this. But you heard his theme. His theme was there, and it was clear. The cabal, the dark government, the secret government. Somebody's grabbing power. They're taking it from us. They're lying. Blah, blah, blah. The same. That's what he talks about all the damn time, right? But there was a bit of an insinuation there regarding this being leaked, almost 3 years ago, because he made that comment about a particular group releasing this. TTSA. When I tell you, Greer goes balls to the wall in a documentary, and he makes not just an insinuation, he puts it out there. He puts it out there in all his sleaze-stack goodness that our boys from TTSA are not what they appear to be. Now, the funny thing is, in the conversation in Discord last night, that was one of the things that I threw out there was, what if, and I still think about it today, because we know that TTSA ended up getting what? Government contract with the military. Well, lo and behold, it kind of rings true now. A lot of things that Mr. Greer has been saying over the years, because some of the clips, if you go back to when the videos first broke out, almost 3 years ago, Elizondo was talking about the fact that these things are a threat. Unidentified aerial threats. And that is what Greer has been saying for the longest. And now all of a sudden, the guys that initially broke out these videos, this tic-tac situation, they're the ones who get the government contract, where you would think that someone that says, hey, I needed to go in there, do like a army crawl, I did a little roll, I fought through some fire and flames, and they threw blades at me, they shot at me. I went in there and I took these videos, and then I ran the fuck out, and I went home and I quit. I quit my job that I've had for the longest, my career job, because I hate them. I hate what they're doing. They're hiding all this information. They're keeping it from us. So yeah, I stole it. And I gave it to Tom DeLonge and the gang. You would think that you would not be the one to get a government contract. It almost falls perfectly into the Greer puzzle. Like that shit he's been putting into everyone's brain about the cabal and the military-industrial complex. It just fits perfectly, piece by piece by piece. And he continues to say that the idea is that the public, the world, is going to be led to believe that the threat will come from aliens from 4.2 far, and we needed to give the power to that industrial military complex, and basically that's how they grab all the power in the world. Now he'll be the first to tell you, yeah, there's aliens out there. They're great. They love you. Yeah, you can communicate with them. Commune. You can go out there in the middle of the desert. You can meditate. sit there, in some kind of a lotus pose, and all of a sudden they'll come down, they'll do a quick probing, and they'll heal you. They'll show you the future. They'll make you feel good. But he never talks about bad aliens. I've never seen him talk about aliens that give no fucks for us hairless apes. And now we really are smelly, right? So I could imagine the earth is closed because we're really stinking up the place. But that's the other thing now. So that's where we are now. Now is Greer's plan more clearer than ever? Well, not his plan. The plan that he's saying that he was given years ago. That was the end game. And I do want to announce, there is one spoiler for this documentary. He cried again. He cried. Cried like a baby. Actually, he cried worse this time than he did in Unacknowledged. I mean, this time he meant it. Like, he's like, damn, like I wanted to stop. I got started getting choked up. Yeah. I kind of held Bugs a little closer. Then he farted and I let him go. But check it out. Listen, I'm going to say this. We'll do like a little recap of this particular documentary probably sometime next week. And hopefully you guys will go in there. Yeah, it's $5. I get it. You might be able to find a place that has a bootleg. I don't know. Get it however you can. Watch it. It's 2 hours of your time you will not get back. So make sure you have nothing better to do. But check it out. And really, compare it to the other documentaries that you've seen in the last 2 years and tell me, where does it land, to be honest? Because I would give that thing some props. Especially after the shit we've been seeing recently. All right, so we're going up to the last article, but check this out.
Control, but truth be told, I'm not the same no more. Yeah, I don't know what you've been told. I fell in love with another, didn't mean to make you fall. I couldn't do this forever, either way we would have lost. Now you're begging me to stay, keep telling you it's so late. No more. Now listen, well, what I say is gold. Now we can't stay here in the cold. I fell in love with another, didn't mean to make you fall. I couldn't do this forever, either way we would have lost. Now you're begging me to stay, keep telling you it's so late.
You know, one of the things that we were also talking about in the Discord chat last night was basically doing our own remote viewing or CE5 situation. Because that rubber dicker, the sleeve stack, he charges anywhere from, I think the prices we saw, like a little bit over $4,000 all the way up to $7,000 for a CE5 event. So you can sit in the desert, sweating your ass off and try to call down aliens. It's bananas. Now, there is a lot of footage that you're going to see if you decide to spend your $4.99 to watch this documentary. And listen, it's interesting. What it is, I don't know. It could all be parlor tricks. They could be setting up the area just for the people that show up. I don't know. The only way to really know is to be there live and do it yourself. I still don't think that any of us have that much money. Well, speak for myself, I guess. But my thing is, here's my thing, and then we'll get into this last story. My thing with the whole situation with these CE5 events is this. If Greer is always talking about how the government's taking power, they have all these technologies that could help the people of the world, free energy, and all this other nonsense, why the fuck are you charging people so much money? Your shit should be free. Your shit should be completely free so that everyone can get in touch with ETs and figure this thing out if it's really what's going on, Greer. That's the way I see it. That's the only thing that bugs me about CE5. Listen, if you want to go out and meditate, you want to contact ET, get a few probings in here once in a while, yeah, good. Go ahead and do it. And if it works, even better. But if it works, give us some fucking answers. Don't just tell us that people show up and they get their hearing back and shit like that, or they get freed from all these illnesses. What about you tell us what's going on? Why don't you ask them the questions about what is this whole ufology thing is about? What is really going on? Get some answers about your fabled cabal. Don't just sit there like a flower child with petals in your ass, hoping for the best. That just doesn't make sense to me. But he's making a killing. There's no doubt about that, because I've never seen a CE5 video where just like 2-3 people. There's usually a boatload of people there, and I guarantee this is how another way, besides the crowdfunding, that's probably another way that he makes the big bucks, old Greer. I guarantee you that much. That's for sure. So this article, the last one for tonight, basically is about SpaceX. Why not? And by the way, I did see that the Starship passed the pressure test. Funny how that wasn't like a big thing. No one went crazy about reporting about that they finally passed the damn, what is this, SN4? Is that the current version, SN4? It finally passed the pressure test, so they're getting ready to set a date and shoot that bitch up. Hopefully I can get the time off. I really want to go down there and check it out. But this one is about the Crew Dragon. The Crew Dragon is scheduled to take off May 27th, and we have 2 astronauts, lucky astronauts. I'll be scared shitless, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's one thing, like, if you're getting on a space shuttle, you have a few years under you, right? Everything's going well, and you decide to go up. It's your turn to go up and go to the space station, or something like that. But when you see the carnage that's come up to this point, and not just SpaceX, everyone that's been trying to get this thing of delivering astronauts to the space station, all these vehicles, right? When you look at the carnage that's been the last few years, I would be scared shitless. Like, I really would have second, third, fourth, and fifth thoughts. I'd probably run away from home if I could. But on the 27th, Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, they're going to be headed to the ISS aboard the Crew Dragon capsule. Yeah, that's going down. The mission is going to be known as Demo 2. I don't want to be strapped to a rocket and it be called a demo. No, because demo could be a test. Demo could be a demolition. No, that's not what I would do. But that's the name of it, the Demo 2. And so these guys are going to be on there. It is going to mark the return of orbital human spaceflight in America for the first time since July 2011. So everyone's ecstatic about it. Completely ecstatic. We're really hoping that it works. And I'm going to be honest. You've got to be brave as fuck to strap your ass to a rocket, especially one that has been just testing over the last few, year and a half, 2 years. You've just been a test dummy, and now you are a test dummy yourself when you get on this demo too. I can't believe they called it that. It's jacked up, completely jacked up. There's a quote in here from an individual from the University of Southern California, and he says this about SpaceX getting to this point. It was an uphill battle. No shit. Uphill and downhill and spread all over the place. Apparently this individual, who his name is, I got it lost here for a second, Reisman, who is a professor of astronautics at University of South California, USC. He said he was aboard the ISS in 2008, and he actually flew on one of the shuttle missions in 2010. He said this: if he had to bet back then on what he was sharing with Space.com regarding SpaceX and their ability to pull this off, he would have said he would have bet totally against them that they could ever do it. And here they are. Basically, Reisman, he was with NASA, and eventually he left NASA and he joined SpaceX. He joined Elon and the crew, and he worked there from 2011 to 2018. And he was the director of crew operations, and, he's got the insight on this. He knows what's going on. He knows what the struggle has been for the company to get to where they are today. He also says there were a lot of skeptics back in the day, a lot of uncertainty. People did not think that Elon was going to get this to where it is today. A lot of people just did not think it was a good idea to allow commercial enterprise to send people into space. Basically, he says this: you had government, industry, and NASA administrating all at various different times, looking like they were going to shut this down. So there was a lot of eyes on SpaceX early on. People trying to basically give Elon the old heave-ho. Get him out of there. He was not going to get this done. And listen, the demo too, it's going to be, as they say, balls to the wall. I'm literally astronaut balls to the wall of the capsule wall. And my hope is that it works. It's time to get the space program going, because I'm tired of people just getting probed without getting any answers. We need boots on the ground. Preferably not the moon. I'm tired of the moon. But, other planets in our solar system need to get some visitation going. But my heart goes out to these guys. Hopefully they make it to the ISS safe and sound, and they return in one piece whenever the fuck they're supposed to come back. They really could have picked a better name for this thing. That demo 2 is ridiculous. But hopefully this is a good trip, one of many. And we also get to see the Starship, hopefully in May also, or at least June, take that test. That one test that's going to set the SpaceX program ahead by a lot. Even though they're a little bit behind. But it'll be fantastic to see. This is the episode for tonight. One of the things that I wanted to mention is, again, if you're into like remote viewing or CE5, join the Discord group and share some of your knowledge. Because I think we really want to do it. We're going to get together our own little cabal of fuckers, and we're going to try this. We're going to dedicate some time to remote viewing and trying to contact our own aliens. But I'm a city boy. I'm not down for this being in the damn desert with having sand in your ass trying to contact aliens. I'm not going to do that. I'll do that from an air-conditioned room. Maybe you guys should too. This is the end of the podcast. I appreciate every single one of you for listening and sharing and being part of my story, the UFO Buster Radio story. And with that, for the record, I'm saying ciao.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record, yeah. For the record. For the record. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price on y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all. Frozen. H6 all the hate. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ballin' age. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the on record, off record. I still count wins when they doubt it. On record, off record. I let them take advantage. I was wildin'. On record, off record deals. Tell them talk to Colin for the quote. On record, off record. I still want the act, not the ghost. Running through it with the young influence. Adolescent presence. I'm succumbing to it. I've been giving yeses when I shouldn't do it. I complete ejected with the moves elusive. And I'm barely moving, but I'm still gon' boost them. I can't work on winnings when I know you're losing. So I work the winners and they throw the deuces. Guess I have to pivot, shooting no bazookas for the facts. I need racks, paper, cash, fuck a tax. That's a joke. Tell them laugh. Uncle Sam, fuck out the bag. Brody plot, but get a whack. Contract, give me the max. I got lab on my back. You ain't that, then it's raps. Whoa, 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 whoa. For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, yeah. For the record.